Hello, happy Wednesday. My name is Nyoka Lynn. I wanted to come on here and share something that really got my attention last night. Early in the evening, I went to my cabinet and I pulled out a glass to get some apple juice. Now, I've had these glasses for a good 3.5 years, I guess. And I know what they were originally for, but they never impacted me the way they did last night. I pulled the glass out and I looked at it and I had such an overwhelming feeling about it. This is the glass, and I just want you to know this is apple juice. This glass says, good day, that's here. Bad day, don't ask. Yeah. So yes, I guess you could use it for an alcoholic beverage. That's what it was designed for. Now I want you to think about that. A good day, you just have a little. A bad day, a little more. Don't ask, you're going to numb yourself out. I looked at that and I thought, wow, that's sad. I guess I've just overlooked these glasses for a while. I know that when I switched over, let's just say, transitioned from religion into true spirituality, you get this sense of freedom where you're not bound by all those religious fears. You're not going to go to hell if you drink, and you're not going to go to hell if you smoke, and you're not going to go to hell if you curse or whatever. So for a while there, I witnessed so many people, and still do, that are now walking in spirituality. They're new. They'll go and they'll drink, and they found this found freedom in cussing and just we've all done it, I guess. But anyway, yeah. So now they feel free to drink. I know. When I was in religion, I didn't drink. I didn't drink for very many years. And I remember going to a party, and I thought, this doesn't mean I'm going to go to hell, so I would have a drink. And there are so many drinks out there. I was never really big on hard liquor, but I liked wine and I liked beer. As a matter of fact, I remember going to a doctor when I was really stressed, and he wanted to give me anxiety pills, and I said, no, I don't take pills like that. And he said, well, why don't you, after work, have a glass of wine? Well, I did that for a little bit, and one glass of wine just didn't fix my anxiety, so it went to 2 and 3 and 4. Then I didn't like how I felt the next day. I'd wake up with a headache. And I thought, well, let me try beer. I like beer. So I went from one tall can of beer after work every night to 2 cans to 3, and then a 6-pack. I did this for about a year. Yeah, because I didn't want to take pills. Oh my God. Okay, so why do you think this bothered me so much? This good day, bad day, don't ask. Well, knowing what I know about frequency, and knowing what I know now about alcohol, yeah, it's concerning. It's very concerning. Let me just say this. Alcohol was used, they used to call it, it's Arabic name of alcohol. Now this was used in mystic, alchemist rituals. So long ago, like before religion days, this stuff was used. And what it was designed for was to pull spirit out of things. Because everything is energy. Any alchemist, any true alchemist or mystic knows that everything is energy. Any scientist living today knows that everything is energy. We are energy. Everything about us is energy. Everything around you is energy. Everything vibrates. Everything, from the clock on the wall to you, the glasses that you wear, the table, the food that you eat, everything is energy and everything has a vibration. Well, so does alcohol. Yeah. It was used with fear and reverence. It was very delicately handled, very delicately used because they knew the power of it. I know in a lot of things I studied when I was in Baton Rouge, when you learn about voodoo, you see these people, they've got the black around their eyes. That's what the alcohol was a fine black powder that they used to put around their eyes. Well, this powder, you see them in, and then they use the alcohol. Why do you think they call them zombies? They suck the spirits out of these people. Why do you think they call alcohol spirits? They've been called spirits for very, very, very long time. They're called spirits. It's a warning to you saying, hey, bad stuff, step back. Now, mind you, when the true alchemists and mystics knew the power of this, when they used it in the rituals, it was only given in small amounts, and it was only specific rituals that they used it on. You've got people nowadays just consuming it like water. And why is that bad? Well, I'm going to tell you. It has nothing to do with your religious beliefs. Nothing. No. I don't drink, not because of religious beliefs. It's because I know what the alcohol is. Okay. You are an energy being. Okay? As I've mentioned in previous videos, the soul knows that its true nature is one of joy and happiness and love. And when you go through things in life, emotions rise up, you've suffered some type of abuse or whatever, something that really put you in a slump, you want to numb it. You want to make that pain go away. And more times than not, people turn to alcohol, drugs, but they turn to these things thinking that they're going to feel better. You know what's sad about alcohol? It's the glamour of it all. I mean, I know just in my own family, we would have our drink at some kind of Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever it was, and then we'd give the kids their little make-believe drink, in the same kind of glass. It's glamorized, kids think they're grown up when they can drink, and drinking, you can be yourself, you think, when you drink, and you can be open and free. How many people act a total ass when they drink? Now let me tell you what's happening. That's not the true you. I've heard people say, oh yeah, when you drink, your true intentions, your true self shows up. Couldn't be more far from the truth. Okay, here's what happens when you drink alcohol. When you choose to drink alcohol, you're opening a door. How are you opening a door? Listen. You have a core frequency. You have a core frequency. Alcohol lowers that frequency. It dulls your intuition. It blocks any kind of spiritual connection with your true alignment, your true self. It blocks it. Now people, when they drink, they feel free. They're the life of the party. Ha, 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 he. It's not funny. They don't feel so good the next day. A lot of times they don't even remember what's happened the next day. Do you know why? Yes, alcohol affects your heart. Yes, alcohol affects your brain and your liver. But more so, it affects your aura. You have a biofield around you. Some people call it an aura. You have a biofield around you. And when you drink, and you make a habit of drinking, what happens is your biofield gets fractured. It's like pinholes start going in it. This biofield protects you. Yes, protects your connection with your true self. It protects your immune system. It protects you. So when you start drinking alcohol, you're putting holes in your biofield. Then these holes become tears, fractures. When this happens, you are a wide open target for all sorts of things. You open doors, I promise you, you don't want to open because they're very hard to close. What you put out, you get back. If your frequency is on a very low frequency, especially if you've numbed yourself with this thing and you think you're having a great time, you're a wide open target. And what do you attract? Listen, you are like a big radio receiver. Your frequency is saying low energy, low energy. It's screaming out all around you to every low energy out there. Hey, come on in, come on in. You can actually attract, I call them parasites, spiritual parasites. And what do parasites do? They feed off of you and they stay with you. So even once your night of fun has subsided, I promise you these parasites will stay longer than the hangover. They affect your base chakra. You have a wide open, overactive base chakra. That is your base chakra down like by your tailbone. Your chakras are your energy centers. Now this thing is blown wide open. Now it's wanting desires to be filled. It's wanting security. It's wanting all kind of things. But at the same time, you think you're having fun. It's affected your crown chakra. What a trade-off, huh? Now your crown chakra, your connection with source, your connection with your true self, your alignment is now dulled and blocked. Yes, alcohol is sneaky. It reminds me, I couldn't help but notice in my mind's eye, I remember that little snake on Jungle Book where it says, trust in me, and he's got him hypnotized. Yeah. And that's what it does. It lures you in. Oh, I feel freer. Oh, I feel happy. I'm the life of the party. You know, ha, 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 and he. And listen, I was there. I drank. I've been drunk. Yes, I'm not a good drinker. Never been a good drinker. I get drunk fast. I'm glad I stopped. My God. Alcohol is, listen, when you say it's a demon, it can be. It can let them in. All that parasitic energy, all that low vibing, sketchy stuff that wants to come in and take control of you. Take control of everything about you. Your base chakra, all your desires and everything, it's going to be controlled by this parasitic entity that you let in because of your drinking. And you think, oh, I'm just fine. No, you're not. Energy don't lie. No. I tell people all the time, do the work. Yeah, things happen in our lives, and it sucks. It's horrible. We get our feelings crushed. Sometimes we get our butts beat. There's a lot of things that can happen. Alcohol don't fix it. It's going to make your problems worse. You have a hard time when you drink a lot of alcohol. You have a hard time of letting offenses go. You will bring up the same thing that happened. You can be 60 years old and you can still bring up the same thing that happened when you were 10. You can't let it go. You just you thrive on the bitterness. It's like those things, they feed off of all that negativity that you're holding on to. And then what happens? You don't want to deal with those emotions and feelings. You go get a drink. Why? You're having a bad day. Pour a little bit. Or a good day, you pour a little bit because now it's normal. Now your body craves it. Those parasitic entities, they want it. Now it's a bad day, you want a little more. And now every day that passes, it's taken a little bit more. And then you have to deal with the fact that maybe now you feel guilty, or people are pointing out that you're drinking too much. There's a lot of downsides to alcohol. But the biggest one is it affects your spirit. It affects your biofield. It blocks your connection to source. It blocks your crown chakra. It blocks it. It dulls it first and then blocks it. And the only way you find happiness, you think, is when you drink more of it. That's why when people drink like that, they call themselves alcoholics. Let me tell you, it's not you. Now I know I have a lot of AA people get mad at me, but I don't care. I've never really been that person to care about stuff like that. Here's what I'm going to tell you. It isn't you. It isn't you. Yes, you opened the door. You definitely opened the door and let that stuff in. But it doesn't have to control and rule you for the rest of your life. It doesn't. And as long as you keep claiming that it is your error, it will be yours. And you'll have the guilt and shame forever, and thinking that you've never put that enemy under your feet. Your words have energy. If you get up every day, I'm going to make people mad. Well, I'm an alcoholic. Well, guess what? If you get up every day and say, I am an addict, you walk around for the rest of your life fearing something. You don't have to. A lot of things start with understanding. That's what helped me along my way. I have an understanding of things because I really want to know for the right reasons. Not to have power over anybody or know something that somebody doesn't. No, I want victory over things that try to hold me back in life. Do the work. Understand that you were before you got here. You chose a theme. Why you chose that theme could be numerous reasons. But you came here to explore that theme. Now, as you walk down that hallway, there's going to be many doors. When you go in, and it don't feel so good and it's kind of dark, how long are you going to stay there? The darkness will suck you in. Look, I'm going to tell you something now. You can't know light without the darkness. I embrace all parts of me. Yes. I don't demonize any of it. But I know the longer I keep my focus on the darkness, I am blocking the light. The light is always there if you look at the light. You got to go to the light. Stop making excuses for bad behaviors, unless, of course, you like it. And sadly, when those things take control, they'll make you think all kind of things. They'll make you think it's you that likes it. Isn't it sad nowadays? It's so glamorized, isn't it? It's so glamorized. You have people, that drink top shelf. And then there's all different flavors to all kind of things, and everybody's hee-hee and ha-ha. And you don't need to invite parasitic entities into your life and fracture your immune system and kill your body to have a good time. You don't. I've watched alcohol and drugs ruin a lot of people, and it's sad. It is sad. And they don't really understand what it is they're doing. They think they're just numbing the pain. It's more than that. You think you're numbing the pain, but you're opening the door to a much bigger problem. one door that's going to be very difficult to shut. It's doable if you want it to shut, but you got to walk out that door. So yeah, can we just stop glamorizing alcohol to our children? You're not helping. It's not a religious thing. It's an energy thing, because you are energy. And there are low energy, sketchy vibing, nasty parasitic energies out there. And if you're on that frequency, you're calling them all in. And once they're in, because they get in through the holes and the tears and the gaps that you put in your biofield, in your aura from the alcohol, because that's what alcohol does. It fractures your aura, your biofield. That's how they get in. And you open the door by drinking. You give them permission because now you are drinking. So let's stop glamorizing alcohol. It's ruining your spirit. It's controlling your life. It's controlling your body. It's not just a religious thing. People can have fun without drugs and alcohol. All right, so yeah. So when I saw this glass, I thought, oh Lord. Yeah. So when I sat and I thought about it a little bit, I thought, you know what, I'm going to speak on what I've learned about that. Because like I say, a lot of people, if you say, oh, drinking's bad, the first thing they think is it's a religious thing. It's not a religious thing. Mm-mm. And a lot of spiritual people, once they break free from religion, they start drinking and cussing and carrying on because they feel like, I'm not going to go to hell. Might want to rethink it. You may live your hell right here. Yes, remember, what you put out, you get back. Your frequency determines what kind of day you're going to have, not the alcohol. Your frequency. So when you drink alcohol, your frequency is low. That is what determines. Your vibration determines what happens in your life. Yeah. Do the work. You have bad emotions, don't numb them. Do the work. There's so much help now. Spiritual help will help you understand why things happen, why people show up in your life, why people leave your life. Yeah. And your emotions are there to guide you, to say, hey, look, you're feeling really bad about this. Let's look at it for what it is. Not to numb them, because believe me, when you sober up, bam, they're there. And more times than not, you feel so bad after you drink, and rightly so. Listen, you have an energetic, what's the word I'm looking for? Invasion. You have an invasion every time you drink. You may not think so, but I promise you, one day, it's like you don't have a handle on none of it anymore, and you don't feel any better. All right, that's what I'm going to say about that. I'm going to drink my apple juice. And I can have fun without drinking. We all can. Let's raise our vibrations. Let's get spiritually aware of who we are and how to do the work. What work are you talking about? Your emotions are your guidance system. They are there to say, hey, I'm not feeling so good about this. Why? Let's unpack it. Let's look at it. Seems like a lot of work. Not when you start doing it. Maybe at first. But once you start doing the work and you realize how to do it, how to unpack stuff, it's automatic. It's just automatic. Some things will catch you. I know I had something a year and a half ago kind of catch me off guard, and I thought, how did I attract this? it really kind of sat me down for a little bit. And I was like, okay. And once I got clarity on it, I understood. It was easy to just, okay, release. Yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. It's a beautiful day. Get some rays, put your feet in the dirt, in the grass. Build up that immune system. Get some sun. Sun makes everything wonderful and healthy. All right, my name is Nayoka Lynn. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.